What's up, everybody? Jesse Burdick back here doing a little bit of voiceover for Team SuperTraining. Heading into our meets here, getting meet ready. Everyone's doing a little bit of a different warm-up, as you can see. This is a classic, something with our the earthquake bar, kind of a chaos squat of some sort. Something that's been involved in the Lock 5, but just trying to make sure everything is activated and turned on a little bit before we really start getting into the good stuff, which is on its way. And here we go. With Steph starting off with 215. I think she's doing, working up to something heavy. I don't know exactly where she is because I think she's a week or two off of everybody else who's doing the Reno meet. But again, Steph's ultra impressive. Really, really good form, technique. And just very, very strong. She's doing awesome. Here we have Peaker hitting a 225. Oh, I remember this. This is a 90% day for everybody. So the way that we program stuff for our meet, peak, and deload on the Power WOD, which available at markbell.com. Hey, go check that out. We have, as we get closer and closer to the meet, once we found out our openers, we have a day called the dreaded 90. And what you're going to do is you're going to take either 90% of your best squat and or 90% of your opener, and you're going to go and do 10 reps total in as few sets as possible. What we're just trying to do is just, again, dial in form, dial in technique. Smokey really used this to get used to his wraps. So as you can kind of see, he's in wraps, which normally he may not be in during a lot of the cycle because we don't use them a lot. But here he is just kind of dialing in form with 425. Hits a couple reps, going to probably jump up a little bit, do the same thing. We have John kind of using the same weight here. John is in sleeves at this point, just kind of working himself up, getting himself ready to go. Nice deep breath, really good depth, just hammering that. So hopefully he jumps up a little bit because he's smashing that weight. Looks good, really, really solid. He's been working really, really hard this whole peak cycle, but doesn't look like he's super happy with it for whatever reason. There's Sully just looking like a giant beanbag of strength. I'm sure he's visualizing like hamburgers fighting tacos or something along those lines. Then we have Peaker. You always got to have a fluffer. Peaker is Sully's fluffer, trying to get him all powdered up and, smooth for his deadlift. Something that we usually don't use in training a whole bunch. And the reason for it is it kind of just gives you that added extra edge. And we want to kind of keep that sort of stuff to the meet. What you're going to see is it's actually going to help the bar kind of slide up. So he's got some giganto legs. So sometimes the bar will get a little bit stuck on those giganto legs. So what we're trying to do is just have him kind of slip past and pull things. Something also to talk about Sully is Sully's such a unique lifter. You're going to see as he kind of goes throughout this video here, just the emotion and how committed he is, and what I want everyone to know is this is just Sully all the time. This isn't for the grams. This isn't for the video. This is Sully 100% of the time. We have Steph going 235, hitting a couple reps in here as well. Again, with her, she looks really, really good with form and everything that she's doing. The only thing that I would say is she kind of has a tendency to kind of jut her chin out at the bottom of a lift, which once it gets heavy can kind of shove her ass up a little bit and kind of turn things into a little bit of a good morning. It's a small habit that she kind of needs to try and figure out. Here we have Kenny, 465. Again, we're trying to take some multiple reps here. When Smokey was going to do this, he kind of talked to me and he's like, do I have to keep the same weight? Do I have to keep it static? Can I kind of bump up a little bit? And we did. If you could see, that right side looks a little bit off. For what reason? Hook kind of grabbed it. Maybe it was a little bit lower on one side. Maybe he's not particularly centered on the bar. Still doing a really, really good job of powering through everything, which at this point is all that we really need to do. Need to get a little bit more hard work in before we can kind of taper back off and send everybody into the meet here. A little bit of an erotic spot from baby fat right there, but that's all good. And, if there's things that are wrong, what fixes it better than a little bit of a tickle? That's it. That's all you need. Makes it all better. So again, here we have Smoke using this day to really try and dial in, just forming everything in knee wraps. Getting wrapped up really nice and tight. Getting ready to go. Bumped up a little bit. Again, 20 pounds here. Little bit of a slip or a hesitation at the top, and seemed like he was okay, wanted to go more, but it's always a good call just to kind of just take everything off, reset everything, do it again, get it right. It's that's all that it's really about at this point, is just, you know, execution. And if it's off a little bit, it doesn't make sense to go ahead. The risk to reward ratio just isn't there. So he's gonna unwrap, get wrapped up again, get fired up, and do it right. Much better to do it screw up in the gym opposed to at the meet, which is what which would be ideal. Here we have Steph jumping up a little bit to 235. Again, just working on her form and making sure she has everything kind of dialed in. Good approach to the bar, gets her feet underneath here, stands up, nice and tight, walks herself out. And here we go. Get a couple reps in here. And again, you can kind of see the chin shoot out as she's trying to return that bar a little bit. Past that, I mean, she's super duper solid. Andrew, can you hold on for a second? What is Sully doing? He is just like the ST. Has he been in like the background of everything that we've been watching? He's just in the background like a piece of furniture. He is literally the powerlifting beanbag. And can you back up or just get him a little bit more? I want to show everyone, and I want to talk everybody through his stance here. Go back. Yeah. All right, here we go. Stop. Good. All right. So for anyone who doesn't know what it's like to be a large mammal who is powerlifting and is probably in pain all the time, this is going to be a similar stance in a chair that Sully has here. What I can tell from here right now is he's got something going on in his left hip or back. The reason is because that left leg is extended, taking all the pressure off there. Right leg is underneath, handling as much weight as possible. And it's so bad that he's hanging onto a bar to push weight further off of that lower back or hip. So this is going to be a typical thing that you're going to see with people who are larger and who are doing some sort of a meet prep and handling a hell of a lot of weight. So this is going to be a common thing, a common theme. And, you know, as you've seen throughout these videos, you know, we've seen Sully just laying down and leaning on a bunch of stuff. So this is fairly common, but we can definitely tell that Sully is getting into a meet. He's fairly beat up. But back to the good stuff. Steph, really, really strong with 230. Thank you for indulging me. That was just, you know, I've watched this video 3 or 4 times at this point, and I now just kind of saw Sully in the background. Peeker chalking his back because he's got no friends to do it for him, which is okay. Anyone who has questions about that, that's just to try and get the bar to stick a little bit more on your back. Sometimes t-shirts are a little slippery or you're sweating, and then, you know, you don't want that bar to come off. So we have Kenny, 465. Much better takeoff here. Really getting good depth on those squats, which is really impressive for him, especially being a newer lifter. You know, he's got a lot of room to grow and get really, really strong. So I'm really, really pumped for him. He's handling a lot of stuff, doing a lot of stuff, drinking only caffeine and Mind Bullet. Apparently that's all that he eats and drinks. So I'm not exactly sure how he actually really survives, but he's squatting really well. So I guess at this point, that's all that matters. Smoke being, you know, a great teammate as always. Here you have Smoke kind of, I think this is the same weight as he took before. Got a little loose at the top. Yeah, 465. Moving here. Much better job. I think he just didn't have his hips underneath him, or his chest wasn't up, something along those lines, but looks a ton better. Again, just really starting to get into those wraps and use them. You can even see from reps, you know, 1 to 4, he's going to be a lot more aggressive. 2 through 4 or 5 here. He's really getting used to using those knee reps, feeling his way through it, feeling what the bottom's going to feel like in the rebound and how far he needs to go to get that rebound and get the return out of the knee reps that he wants. Get him off, get him off. Needs a little relief there. Smoke being a good teammate and a friend, which Peeker didn't have. Getting John all set up, ready to go. 505. Was really moving the bar well earlier. He was kind of shaking his head and not happy with something, but I mean, man, he's really moving well. I don't know what he had to be unhappy about. Those look great. And here we have Sully, just being Sully and being awesome, heading into a 730-pound deadlift here. And once he gets to the bar and gets moving, I'm going to just be quiet and let everyone just be in awe of everything that Sully is, and really appreciate there's not necessarily everybody gets to experience a Sully in their gym. It's pretty special when it happens, getting psyched up. And here we go. Big pull for the big guy. Here we go. I think for the first time in history, he starts with his beanie not in his eyes with a lift as well. Kick something over, throw your belt. It's amazing. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Any questions, want to see more, markbell.com. Tune in next time. We'll have more. Sully's awesome. See ya.